In this video, I will be discussing the issue of Central Intelligence Agency in Eastern Europe and, for that matter, anywhere in the world. By watching this video, the people, will decide whether you do want to see Central Intelligence Agency, that's basically American presence in your country, or not. I will teach you exactly what American presence in your country, what exactly that means for you on the long run, what exactly is what the Uncle Sam has in a bag for you, what exactly Americans what exactly are they doing. And when I say what exactly are they doing, they are forging everything. They're absolutely forging everything. They are soon gonna say they are your fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters, and that you are born suckling tits from Uncle Sam, literally. You voted for Donald Trump. You voted for Donald Trump. And it's my job to point people around the world just how mentally ill you are. You voted for mental illness. And so now there is my job to demonstrate to the world about your mental illness, about your sickness, how sick you are. United States of America, Central Intelligence Agency of United States of America is based on mental illness issues. They use mental illness to progress their agenda throughout the world. You can take the notes and you can write down, number one, about this video, United States of America is based on mental illness. It's domestically, it's 1 in 3 people that suffer also mental illness because of the U.S. government, their policies, the way they implement this stuff. And Americans, when they come in this house, they said, oh, every second one of you Europeans is suffering from mental illness. Yeah, okay, if you say so. And I was mentally ill, right? And you people know what the definition of mental illness is, right? So you torture somebody and this person cannot escape, and you continue to torture him, and you see him doing stuff that suggests you he is mentally ill, and he is doing this stuff to escape your lunacy. Basically, he had ability to go into another world right in front of you, wander in another world, ignore you right there, basically like this, to survive, to preserve his sanity. And this is the proof, the way you got the proof about me being mentally ill during MK Ultra. This is what this was. But in this video, we'll be discussing completely different issues about mental illness United States of America is using in exactly the same form as the way I describe you this incident right now. It involves the violence. It involves all the necessary ingredients to portray one as mentally ill. And therefore, it involves absolutely everything, including, of course, on camera, of course, on audio and video, recorded for their archive. And therefore it involves all the necessary ingredients to forgery, to forge the reality. So on a grand scale, through this video, I will try to give an idea whether you actually want the presence of United States of America in your country, or you do not want, or at least to what degree you want, and basically when you want to tell them to get the fuck out before it gets actually too late for you and your families and everything. Number one, as I stated, United States of America is based on mental illness. Central Intelligence Agency is enforcing mental illness throughout the world. And what I mean by enforcing, forging absolutely anything. They're forging the world. They're forging reality. Is this good for you that somebody's forging the reality? I don't know. You have to decide for yourself if somebody comes and is forging about you absolutely everything that pertains to you and claims that he knows more about you than you do, gets your parents off the picture and the whole family. I don't know. You decide about what is good and what is not good for you. Let's continue with this stuff. For today's video, I will get myself into what other stuff that you voted. Donald Trump. We're going to talk about the Donald Trump. Therefore, we're going to talk about Zelensky and Donald Trump. And why? The only thing I will do is I will hit where it hurts the most. And it doesn't hit if you go and you give examples or you whatever it is that you do. What it hits the most is when you, through the example of mental illness, that's basically Donald Trump is he's more mentally ill than any other president in the United States of America was, and they were all mentally ill, severely sick people, severely sick. When I say sick, I mean violent, foremost violent, and likewise forgery, violence, psychiatry, through forced unemployment, through denial to file, complain at United Nations or whatever location, bribe, corruption, in the name of the better world. So there you go. We're going to use Zelensky is Oval Office visit, which took place 4 days ago. Let's go by the facts. This is all about the forgery, this video. This is all about brainwashing techniques of Central Intelligence Agency used in my case, but they were not brainwashing techniques because these people knew that they cannot brainwash me. They brainwash millions of people, but they know they could not brainwash me. But if they could claim that they did brainwash me, now that would be a success. Because forgery, folks, regardless, as much as you allow to be detached from reality, as much as you give these people a proof that they did accomplish something, you're fucked. You're fucked on a longer run. It will cost you your existence. It will cost you your existence. So, let's continue. People, this is a very, very, very advanced program. This is not a program for the, I'm not going to say it's not for the school kids, because school kids are extremely intelligent. I think as a child, as a baby, I was smarter than adults. Really, really, really smart child I was. And I would not go and underestimate children, because children are so smart. They're so intelligent. And I think, yes, I think that everything matters. I think that everything matters. When I mention children, I'm thinking about the longer run. If you learn the stuff earlier, it's not that this is a program for the children or whatever, but that much easier is going to be for you to become adult. That much easier is going to be for you to, when you become adult, to understand and actually, look at me, even have a proof about it all. It's pointless if somebody is pointing out even solutions. They say, oh, you're pointing out the problems, but you're not pointing out the solutions. Therefore, you're a problem. But you can see me. This is more than solution. That's called proof. If they ask you, they say, well, you can say, well, there is an uncle, this one, Bob, whatever. Look, before I'm going to go and touch this issue.
Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work.
I hope I sound like some kind of troll from the YouTube right now.
Under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts.
Yeah, that's actually me trying to laugh. You voted for this. You people of the United States of America voted. And I will correct you. You voted, instead of mental illness, I'm going to say forgery. You voted for forgery. There was this uncles, and there was this aunts. It was a funny circus inside of this home. The Central Intelligence Agency, it's very, very colorful. Very, very colorful. They had really older people, like Warren Buffett. Bill Gates had all kinds of issues going on, and Warren Buffett. And, you know, that generation of older people like the actor that is listed right now, they listed one as deceased. Gene, it's not going to come to me. They classified it as a homicide. With his wife, they found him. Don't want to get into it. Okay, Clint Eastwood and so on. And the children of age 3, 4 years of age, teenagers, yes, and then everything in between, adults, if you want to say. Very, very, very colorful. But the most colorful people in this thing, I think, that were from the middle age, from the upper age, not exactly the oldest people, but people around like age between 60 to 70. I think those ladies and those uncles, I think that, I have no idea, maybe it's because of their retirement or whatever, but their imagination was just, it was just the most colorful people, I think, were between the age 60 and 70. It doesn't even matter the race, whatever, or black or white or Asians. I think, I don't know what's happening with the people between 60 and 70, but they had a tremendously good time. The stuff that was coming out of them was just truly as if you would make the painting, and this painting would be so colorful, beautiful painting. I think they had a lot of time at hand. I think they retired, and they were thinking about this case, about meeting me every time the people would have their programs ready. And I think they were, but according to the standards of this MK Ultra, that it was like the core of the Central Intelligence Agency, pertaining to the forgery and stuff. It will go straight into the group between 60 and 70, in my opinion. I also analyzed that stuff. Those uncles, those aunts. In a little bit, I'm going to demonstrate you how they were pushing me down the idea to through they wanted to totally sicken me with it. And yeah, it's also called a play down, when you play somebody's expectations down. It's not a good stuff, really. It's really not a good stuff. And if you do follow that pattern, you know, I don't think any of these people are bad people, like in sense of hurting Ukraine or something like that. But mental health wise, Oh, I'm not worried about mental health wise. I wasn't worried, and I'm not worried about mental health wise. But when it comes to forgery, proving lies like, oh, we created Bob, we created him. You don't believe us? That's what we're going to be talking about this video. That's why I said, do you actually need to understand American presence in your life? What means to detach yourself from reality and what that will do in the long run to you. Because it starts to portray not to you, but what they do is the forgery they create about you. They start to portray to Japanese, to Germans, and Germans portray to whoever, because they all forge this stuff as beneficial for the world. They always lie. They forge reality. This is a big subject. I'm a big subject. Among all the international figures, presidential, royal, and parliamentarian, forget about the royal and presidential, this background of the politics and global scale was so enormously involved in it that what they do is, even I made mistakes. I'm not going to make these mistakes anymore because I don't need to make mistakes anymore. I'm completely aware about what went on. But the thing is that videos that you make are actually even can be used as a proof. In my case, they were using them as a proof of change, of doing something better for humanity through their politics, through involvement of their politics in the world, and so on. This is the way it works. Don't be fucking stupid. Don't be a sucker, because honestly, they're gonna get idea that it's time to say that really that Mr. IRS is your father or Mrs. IRS is your mom or whatever. Really, that when you were born that you were sucking the tits from Uncle Sam. Don't do this shit to yourself. Okay? In other words, stay real. In this case, I don't like to say it. I don't like to show this stuff, but show them a middle finger in their ass, literally. Don't go for that stuff because it ain't gonna do anything good for you. This is how America rules the world. America rules the world with lies, forging reality, and is not alone in it. This is entirely British, colonial, German, imperial system according to which they operate. This is not a naive video by any terms. Oh, they're going to have a headache at the Central Intelligence Agency. See you today. They're not going to like this video at all, I think. Zelensky was selected as a proper Central Intelligence CIA candidate based on a thorough evaluation, is what Donald Trump proudly bragged that there were candidates and so on, and on those candidates he had proven to be the most fit, the most supposedly that I also participated in that stuff, and that stuff took place sometimes around really 2000, something like that, 2001, 2000, something like that. Sure, you can lie, you can forge, and if you lie and you're willing to forge, our Central Intelligence Agency is gonna hire you. So I don't know. I'm not saying this so that Ukrainian Zelensky would be removed or anything like that. I am just saying this to warn you about the dangers of your statehood being falsified, stolen away, disown you basically from your statehood. That's what the fuck I am saying this. They're gonna fucking disown you. They're gonna make you can you imagine what this lies they do, what this shit can do to you in your country? But you're not gonna find a presidential candidate that's gonna be capable to, that they're gonna own you with stuff like this for eternity. That they will always be proving and claiming that they have a title of your country, that they were the one who did this and that and so on and so forth. United States of America have contributed to Eastern Europe independence nothing, and nor did London. I will reiterate the claim. I did liberate Eastern Europe. I did liberate the countries around Russia myself. That's all there is to it. You are a fucking scum, filth that forge absolutely everything, and the mental illness that you voted for will in this video prove you being horrifically wrong. Your mental illness, Donald Trump I'm referring to, I think he's about the sickest, the most bastard, the dirtiest, the filthiest individual of them all. It's not gonna do you any good. You're fucked. Let's see, let me demonstrate you. Listen to this sickening speech here, and I'm gonna demonstrate you how it works. This one got to attention to me after I watched, I don't know what his name is. They threw one out of the it's, what do they call this? A Congress? I found this like a mob inside of some chamber, something like in Britain, where they would have this lower house or whatever that is, and it's really low, I think, and you hear them going, yeah, 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 like a fucking mob, really, like a fucking street mob, like, yeah, yeah, you know, kick him, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see this stuff. And I'll demonstrate you that video in a little bit. This is like the one, the hilarious one.
Earlier today, I received an important letter from President.
Now I'm not acting. Now I'm actually really laughing about it. You can feel the mental illness in the air. You can feel the mental the way he talks, and it really does humiliates Donald Trump. I mean, Vladimir Zelensky, except that he is in agreement with Vladimir Zelensky. And what you're watching here, I have watched during MK Ultra on several sessions. They had this garbage, mutual garbage going on behind the closed doors. Every time they would deliver me, Donald Trump would even get upset with me that they are delivering me there where they're not supposed to. Maybe somebody played a bad joke on them. That's maybe possibility. Or maybe Donald Trump just wanted to play a really bad joke on himself. I don't know. But let's see this stuff. This is hilarious. This is hilarious because there'll be actually people out there. There'll be you out there. You'll go for it. And some of you will probably say, oh yeah, look at that poor fuck Zelensky. He is taking it just like that from our president. Now there will be very few of you like this. Now there will be other type of you out there that will say, yeah, that's right. and we're gonna have a peace, and it's gonna be a peace and it's law and it's order. Finally, we can take care of our own problems down south of border, Rio Grande. We're gonna concentrate on our border wall and immigration, the things that matter. Okay? Nobody probably will give you the overview I am gonna give you in this video. No, from the mainstream media or from the so-called alternative media, you're not gonna get any of that stuff. So,
Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer.
So, if you get to talk to Donald Trump ever, and he talks to you like this, you know that he's making fun of you. You know that he is laughing in your face. If you see J.D. Vance, and if you pay attention to Johnson right there in the background, they are barely holding their asses from not exploding and laughing about it. That's why I said they trained this stuff together in a chamber. Many times they have redone this. So every one of you inside of this chamber is a witness to what I stated right now. I can get any one of you laid down in front of the lie detector test. Every one of you. Let's continue with this stuff.
Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago.
There you go. This is how it got my attention today. There is some people really, they enjoyed the spectacle. They enjoyed it. Did you hear previously my words? I mean, let's go back here. Look at the guy, how he's laughing. Look how they are laughing like insane. That's not a normal atmosphere for a chamber where they're discussing important issues. They're cracking their ass, literally. This is truly like a mob. This one here got my attention. Don't be fooled, don't be stupid. This is a very good friend of Donald Trump.
By big numbers and won counties in our country.
This is a very good friend of Donald Trump, this Texas boy right there. This is Donald Trump, this guy. Hold on a moment. They are gonna throw him out of the chamber. And I want you to understand, this is Donald Trump you're looking at right there. This guy with a stick is Donald Trump. This is a very close friend. I would call one even as associate of Donald Trump. He was involved in it. Hey man, he was giving me very hateful stuff in my face. The thing is, no. This guy really works for Donald Trump. This is a Donald Trump. This is what this is. This Texas man right there. That's Donald Trump. So you have exchange between Donald Trump and his associate that poses right there as the opposition.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 5,000. 25, but a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
It was determined that Donald Trump is going to be taken out of the White House during MK Ultra. Donald Trump alone stated me in 2018 that I screw him up, that I don't know what the fuck I did to him, and he will not be the one who's going to make it through. The one who's going to replace Donald Trump is going to be a Speaker Johnson. Let's continue to do this stuff.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
They practice this stuff time and again.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland.
This is where I'm gonna stop. This is where we're gonna stop. We're not gonna get with it. The message from Vladimir Zelensky. This message here. I don't understand. The mail that Donald Trump denounced, the email that he denounced from Vladimir Zelensky, was involved in MK Ultra. Now look at me now. Do you understand? The mail from Vladimir Zelensky, which Zelensky sent to Donald Trump, was involved in MK Ultra. The two already discussed this issue, and it was about Vladimir Zelensky afterwards blowing up and so on. By the way, his suit, I also believe that is going to fit Zelensky the most, in the same way, in exactly same scam pattern as to January the 6th insurrection at Capitol Hill served Donald Trump, who was not even elected as a president in 2024. You understand? just basically gives you an idea what happens if you go out on the street and protest, if you take on a Capitol Hill or something during mental illness times. It just gives you an idea what happens if you do something like this, if you try to do something like this with the president who was absolutely not elected. Donald Trump's second term, no fucking way this guy was elected. Think about how this guy left disgracefully in 2019, 2020. How he left in 2020. No fucking hell, nobody wanted him back. See him, everybody was sick from this man reading, learning about who he was through the media, through his involvement. Nobody wanted to see this Diablo anywhere. And so, in the same way, Vladimir Zelensky, when it comes to Oval Office meeting, his suit he's gonna wear, in my opinion, when he will be signing the so-called truce, because now it's going to be all about the peacekeeping troops. It's going to be all about the peacekeeping troops. They already brokered through the peacekeeping troops how they will cut the Ukraine from a lot of territory. Really, the picture they were demonstrating me, the map was, when I saw the new, what the Ukraine looked like was horrific, but they are building an image to Zelensky so that he could be more like a Donald Trump, so basically on a completely fake, let's say, credentials, but something that could have taken place, and it's being modified in such a way, modified like social engineering does. You can create, it's not that they can create. We see these people every fucking day. We see King Charles, and we see Prince William and Prince Harry, and we see the politicians. We see whatever mainstream media wants us to see. Yes, they create the reality based on whatever they want the reality to look like. Yes. This is what this is, basically. So they are creating based on total lies, total fuck up. If you want Zelensky's, or if you want Donald Trump's, or if you want Prince Charles's, or you want Prince William or Prince Harry, or you want, I don't know who else is significant to you. You go to the dumpster and you'll see some homeless people there. Probably many of them are much, much more capable than these people to perform jobs, duties. If you train them, if you feed them, if you nourish them properly, they will do a better job, probably many of them, than the people that we see. I'm not impressed with any of these people, and they did display a great deal of mental illness, a real mental illness. Mentally ill is never the person who is tortured. The mentally ill person is the one that tortures. That is the person that is mentally ill, not the person that is tortured. Maybe it all depends. Yes, it all depends, but it depends what purpose is the torture, let's say, it's done, why the torture would be done. But in my case, well, you have to make yourself your own idea. If it's okay to torture your own citizens, if it's okay to just do the stuff to them, to, stuff I have written about on the blog. I'm not, it's too broad of a term, this stuff. Forgery is the main thing about this video. Then I don't know, if you can do the stuff like this and you're justified. I'm not going to get into it about my being right or my being wrong or whatever, and them being right, them being wrong. I already explained, and I explained good in this video what they are up to, and this is the video about the forgery. So let's just continue about this stuff. They are creating a martyr, basically, personality out of Zelensky. The unbeatable, basically, the imaginary unbeatable. Which is truly regretful, isn't it? I mean, that they have to get people from the dumpsters, and look how much money they invest in it to modify, to create the persona, the personality that people would embrace, you know, and see themselves in one and so on. Is this like a president that you want, actually, like this? I'm not talking about Donald Trump at all, because Donald Trump, we're done with the Donald Trump. Everybody knows in America who Donald Trump is. But we're talking about Zelensky here. I mean, is this the type of president that you want? That you want? I like the man of his convictions. I like the man that actually accomplishes something. I like the man that is standing behind his own deeds. I like the man that accomplished something, that actually did something. This is what I like. I like the man that can be seen, that have done something, that did this stuff. That's actually really the guy that led with example. That's my type of mentality. That's what I like. This is what I like. It's not about proven. It's not about. It's about the real man, about the real stuff. I don't know why they call the reality show a reality show when a lot of stuff about it is fake, and it's ran by the fakest people in the world. And when it comes to your life, when it comes to our lives, they try to forge absolutely everything. And yes, we even go along with it, to be seen as an acceptable, to at least somewhat relate to what we think it's a logic. Let me give you this example here. This is the stuff I have suggested you, I think, on the video already, that, yeah, this took place right after the meeting with Zelensky and with Donald Trump at the Oval Office. This was 4 days ago. So that now, if you see the date and so on, yeah, you can see the date here. It says, shit, or maybe you cannot see it, or you can see it. Let's see. Yeah, you can see on the bottom, it says right there. It was recorded the day after, which was the March the 2nd. So the meeting took place, obviously, on March the 1st. And the same shit happened, or I don't know. The same shit happened, basically. I started to video record this stuff because it was involved in MKUltra. And it was this manipulation of Zelensky, of the Central Intelligence Agency. They actually even obtained the proof about me, because I stated on the video. Yeah, they forgery proof. This is how they obtained the forgery proof. This is how they proved themselves as useful. Yeah, this is how they proved themselves as useful. I stated in the video, and then what I would do is they would immediately start, which is true. This is not that I would counter myself as far as true, as far as the reality. But what I'm going to give you now is going to be a deeper overview, a deeper look into the truth. There are many truths, and there are many lies, but the truth pertaining to what I'm about to show you, there are only 2 truths in my case. One truth is what I mentioned to you in a previous video when I stated, and they immediately bombarded me with comments like this one here, like, what is this, from Elizabeth Bell I get here. I get to see, I hope I'm going to get to see that stuff. No, I'm not going to see it, but guess what? I video recorded it. I did video recorded it, and it's magnificent. This is a magnificent stuff. He's talking about Joe Biden's son holding a laptop, naked laptop in his hands, sitting on a sofa, and is, there you go, and is, the face that you see right there, the facial expression, is not exactly the happiest one. Unfortunately, I did not go all the way down, but look at the comment. When you notice your monthly Ukraine deposit did not hit, and I had the people inside of my room here exactly where I am at, talking to me about this issue, and I said, and I couldn't understand. Yeah, Facebook is a Central Intelligence Agency platform. That is correct. It's a brainwashing, a violent Central Intelligence Agency brainwashing company is what it is. That's right. And you will get to see at the Facebook, whatever the Facebook engineers, when you're going to click on the page, want you to see for that day. And listen, they had a whole fucking team of people, the whole fucking headquarters of the CIA, NSA, Facebook people watching my account, blogger, stuff that I post, surveillancing one, administering one, watching what the fuck I do, and making sure, absolutely, that I would get the news, the first news I would get served that comes to me. That was, they play with the smartphones. That's why I'm not using the smartphone for the news anymore. I don't use the smartphone for the news anymore. I disconnected it because it was nothing other than according to MK Ultra. So the thing I did is I cut it off the fucker. So everything, when you open the fucking smartphone, it was just the news. Everything was from MK Ultra. Minimum 10 plus years I was subjected to MK Ultra. 24, as long as the hours day has, 365 multiplied with the 10, possibly 12, I was subjected to MK Ultra procedure. They brainwashed a reality, did the news, the so-called journalists and so on. I give a fucking believe. So I don't know what kind of a free world is this. I don't know what's free about the world like this. The worst part about it is the forgery. This is what really digs me the worst about. If you can prove the man that you created him, motherfucker, if you can prove me that it was you who was tortured in Russia, that it was you who was tortured across Ukraine, that it was you who was tortured across Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia, in China, in India, and in other parts of the world throughout the South America and throughout the Africa, then I really don't need to exist, to put it plain and simple. And you are doing just absolutely everything you can to prove me, just like the man, this boy from Texas that you have seen. I repeatedly disregarded one because he posed in front of me like a big shot. And I wanted to learn who the fuck he was, this guy, during MK Ultra with his beautiful stick. It was interesting. So I gave him 5 minutes to explain to me who he was. He's a fucking Republican representative. Oh, wow, my God. A Republican representative. Wow. Let me think about it. Not exactly, I don't know how impressive when you consider the stuff I have talked about on the blog. Meeting with anywhere from Japanese royals to Thai royals, they are the biggest in that part of the world, to Brunei, to all those royals in area, to the heads of the Chinese Communist Party, to the heads of the, all the time with the Putin, Lavrov, Medvedev and Shoigu and so on. Not exactly big when I consider that I was meeting royalties from Africa. African royalties are pretty cool, actually. One royalty was really, really cool. Not to fucking, I don't know what, when I consider that I met all the Brazilian presidents and Mexican presidents and Fidel Castro and all this stuff. Josip Broz Tito, all this stuff that I met. Not particularly, I don't know what, because he's got this stick and because he's got a long hair. And by the way, he does look handsome, I have to say. Now I see this guy, he does look handsome. But what pisses me is tremendously is arrogance. It's like, you know, like, okay, but who the fuck are you? And it's like, I'm a Republican representative, whatever fuck, from Texas I am. And it's like, I mean, it's like, and now you're gonna meet a Queen Elizabeth. Okay? Wow. Oh, a guy looks like a royalty, whatever. And he comes in your face. Okay. You know, yeah. If it helps, the guy looks good. He's a good-looking guy. I like it. I like his long hair. I even like his stick. But during MK Ultra, for fuck's sake, it's a different thing. And you don't understand. During MK Ultra, it's a different thing. Okay? It was very, very different stuff that went on. It was completely different stuff that went on. No, not because I would be, I don't know what. No, not at all. I interacted with whatever, anything that walked. And whatever was out there was interesting in its own way. Unless it was arrogant, unless it was bad, unless it was full of shit. I didn't like people full of shit. Or violent and stuff like that. That's something I did not like. I don't even know where the hell I was with this stuff. I had something important to say, it's gonna come to me. When I had the people inside of this room, and they started to talk to me about, I asked them, I said, it was a lady, I said, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, you mean that I received the money from Ukraine? Or, you know, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, in respect to this stuff here? In respect to this stuff here, when you notice your monthly Ukraine deposit didn't hit, Elizabeth Bell is her name. That might be one of those ladies, might be exactly the lady who did this stuff to me inside of this room, inside of this house, because there was plenty of these people from Facebook that were here. And I had like a brain dead moment when she said to me, when she showed me this stuff, and the way they depicted this stuff didn't make any fucking sense. I was against, during MK Ultra, that's the more important part, I was against not giving assistance to Ukraine. We had the stuff going on. You know, this is like, they put you inside of the cockpit of the fighter jet, whatever, plane. And they say, now we're going, boy. And just when you're about to hit the, you know, the pedal to the metal so that you take off, they say to you, you know what? We have to go to the toilet first. That doesn't make sense, does it? This is exactly this, what you see right there. In the midst of this stuff, well, we got to give help to Ukraine. Yes, we got everything going. All of a sudden, I found myself inside of this house here with this lady, with a man. There was some man also, because when I look at her, I said, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "I I don't receive any help from Ukraine. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Plus this, why the fuck am I seen as a somebody who, why the fuck am I seen as somebody as who would not support Ukraine? Okay, so this is like you take a stick and you go bing 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 bing. I mean, do you understand what the fuck I say? We have just gone through this shit in the US. We were doing everything for the Ukraine to get the help, assistance, whatever the fuck. All of a sudden I find myself inside of this house and somebody's just going bang, 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 bang on my head, saying basically that everything, we have gone through everything during MK Ultra, and this Oval fucking office meeting, and the email that you had right there, and the Macron and European politicians, Ursula von der Leyen, that now there will be European troops going to Ukraine and so on, and this and that, with Prince Charles and so on. You know, all of a sudden I find myself inside of the fucking room with somebody, or kitchen, whatever it was. I really don't remember where this stuff was done. It was inside of the kitchen. I don't know. Inside of the kitchen, probably, at the table. That's where they were doing the most. And also here. But that was the main thing. And somebody's go and fucking give you a fucking lesson. Oh, I didn't finish this stuff. First of all, it didn't make any sense that I would not support Ukraine, that I would actually view myself in this here. When notice your monthly income and deposit did not hit. That's the first thing. I didn't see myself in this in absolutely any way. This is really fucked up, this stuff. This is a son from Joe Biden. Joe Biden was presented during MK Ultra as somebody as an unconditional supporter of Ukraine. Unconditional. And Joe Biden had a big mob. He had a tremendous mob. Donald Trump had a mob. Every one of these candidates, including Obama and Bush, and they all had their own mobs. Every one of this had their own mob. Every one of these clowns. They said the Zelensky's clown. Which one of this dumpster people is not? Every one of them was and is nothing other than a clown with a large base of, you're going to say, his supporters. Yeah, right. Bill Clinton was proud about his supporters from his own city, where he was born, I guess. First of all, I supported Ukraine, more or less. If they did something to me to remind me of something that was done to me and twisted the words, I could also produce. That's what the forgery is all about, because they get the proofs from one and they get the proofs from another. They get the proofs from every fucking point of view, from every horizon. Any inquiry, they could prove you wrong almost. MK Ultra always works in such a way so that abusers, that torturers, Jared Loughner used to say controllers, so that controllers have absolutely excuse. They always had an alibi, but he was this and so on. And this is why this stuff is so important for them. This is all about fucking forgery. It's about forgery of the world. You do want to watch and understand what I'm saying. So in this case, this was a son from Joe Biden, in whom I have not even seen myself. Not in Biden, not in his son. The two were extremely dismissive, abusive. All of them were dismissive, abusive, and at the same time they also flashed with scenarios which suggested that they will end this case and help you out and I don't know what. And this is how this stuff works. That's how they works. So I don't know. If a psychiatrist, a mad psychiatrist like Prince Charles, like Joe Biden psychiatrist, or psychiatrist Donald Trump, or psychiatrist George Bush, or Barack Obama, or any of these psychiatrists is that you want to decide about your destiny, about who you are. These are all psychiatrists. Prince Charles once taught, I think it was Ivo Kosmachin, a young boy from Ljubljana, psychiatrist who met me at Ljubljana where police from Novo Mesto transferred me for filing complaint against MK Ultra violence, which police continue to enforce here in Novo Mesto. Once asked him about what his view is on psychiatry, how he viewed this stuff. He felt in a way like a useful employee. And Prince Charles signaled him that this is basically, he signaled him, what do you think, basically? As a psychiatrist, who do you think is authorizing and doing all this for you so that you can have a job? And discussion was over right there. It was about how is he connected or not to psychiatry. So I'm going to use his own perspective on psychiatry from Prince Charles. They're all psychiatrists. These are all psychiatrists, every fucking one of them. They might not have an official title with it, but you're going to be much safer if you get into their face and act as a psychiatrist yourself. That's basically question them, investigate them in the face to know who and what exactly is it that they think they are when they are standing right there in front of you. You probably will be better that way, or you will get yourself in trouble. You have to have a respectable distance from these people and keep one, because they are dangerous people and they can use anything you say or do or whatever, the way you think, in a friendly way, the way you think, against you at any time for their convenience. Turn the table against you, and through psychiatry, through police, do whatever they want to do with you. These are not a trusty people. These are not the people you want to trust. These are trained killers, trained liars from the dumpster, as I started this video. It didn't make no sense for me to be against Ukraine, to see myself in what, yes, it absolutely made no fucking sense in what Mrs. Bell proposed. That's basically, I asked, what the fuck is this? I'm not receiving any help from Ukraine. I don't get any money from Ukraine. And the second thing is, I remember exactly what it was. I don't see myself in this motherfucker. I said to myself quietly, I watched the son from the Biden. What the fuck I got to do with him? And he is saying right there, just as you see, when you realize, ugly face with a laptop in hands, when you realize, yeah, the only thing maybe I could relate myself to is a laptop in my hands, but I prefer to be well dressed, warm all the time, clothing, and so on, unless it's a summertime, whatever. This is just not typical me. This is just not my point of view. This is just not I, etc., etc. When this lady continued, it could also be that they did video recorded something that I gave the approval not to give Ukraine assistance, because Donald Trump did have also, stuff about Zelensky I have also written about. It was also that kind of stuff. We did also go through that. I have written that stuff on the blog. That stuff was on the blog. Zelensky did a lot of bad stuff, and Donald Trump did not know how to use that stuff. Donald Trump really fucked him with his Oval Office meeting. They did not believe that I would go all the way to 98, where Putin stopped and Zelensky took in his name over torture, physical torture procedure, meeting in the United States in 2002, 2001, and then again continue with the torture all the way to 2005. They did not believe that I would go and with the memory hit so far. They did not believe that. What they wanted me to do is they wanted me to identify the lady who was here at our house who flirted with me and got married when she was 28 or 29. That's what they wanted. They wanted me to identify and see myself in them. It doesn't work like this. I'm busy. I have other stuff to do. So when she suggested me, when she started to pour down poison on me, toxic, first of all, I had a problem. I didn't see myself in Joe Biden's son or Joe Biden. Secondary, I am not the one who would want the assistance to Ukraine to cease. If they torture you, you have to retrieve yourself into your whatever fucking world to come out as sane. If you will pay attention to the torture, to the brainwash, you become insane, eccentric, crazy. They steer you into abyss, across the precipice. You will fucking die. You die. With eccentric personality, with taking seriously the stuff they do to you, means this is the only tool they have, is basically to go inside of your head, and give you a brainwash, a thorough brainwash on how to see something that doesn't exist. This is the main thing. So if you're so naive, I'm not going to say naive, but if you don't have ability, if you don't have mental abilities developed enough to analyze these things, this is the easiest way. This is out of 100% of the people, it's probably about at least 30% of the people that they do like this. Just by telling them, I have no fucking idea that a mother is a father and father is a mother. I'm just giving you an example. Till they repeat this in a public and they put them inside of the psychiatric hospital in that sense. They never said this to me. But 30% of the people don't have the ability to, to understand that they are trying to drive insane, that it's about the paranoia they try to create. The police officers from Novo Mesto police station, Miran Sudin especially, Milan Kučan, Robert Golob, entire Slovenian parliament with the Školč, all this garbage that was involved in it. That's what they wanted all the time. They wanted to create the paranoia. It was all about the paranoia. The paranoia is 50% of MK Ultra. If you ask you what is MK Ultra, 50% of MK Ultra is a paranoia. 50% of it. Other 50% of it pertains to other things. So the chances that you will, even like I did, to steer away from paranoia as much as possible, play low, disregard a real poisoning, a real spine breaking that is taking place in order to survive, are enormous, immense, impossible even to afford yourself to not skip them. Do you understand what I said? when they are seriously poisoning you, when they are seriously breaking your spine, the chances that you will allow yourself to take seriously the poisoning and spine breaking, if you are intelligent individual, if you want to survive this stuff, they do not exist. Because the moment that you will take seriously the poisoning and go out there and say, they poisoned me, they're breaking my spine, that you will not find yourself that day in the psychiatric hospital, do not fucking exist. They don't fucking exist. The first shootout between the police, mass killer, gun shooter, between the police occurred in 1949. At least this is what is recorded. There were also other shootings, Joe Biden admitted me. Really low-key states such as United States of America, due to overwhelming, obviously, probably unemployment that U.S. government was facing with upon return of American veterans. World War II veteran is what I think his name was Unruh, right? I did post it on the blog. His name was Unruh. His name was Howard Unruh, 1949, when they set him up with MK Ultra, and that's a proven case. That's a proven MK Ultra case. Just so that you know, the sheriffs, the people, the sheriff's department, the police department did recognize that Howard Unruh was a victim of MK Ultra. The man, the World War II veteran who returned to be nothing other than forcefully unemployed, humiliated by his community. At one point ended up firing at people, killing 12 of those, wounding, 3 people, etc., etc., etc. That was in 1949, and ended up afterwards, the rest of his life up to the age 88, and there is more information about it, which I would not share with anybody, inside of the psychiatric asylum. When he was delivered to the psychiatric hospital and they don't talk about this stuff, they only say psychiatrists immediately wrote him that he was a schizophrenic. If this guy did go to the police station in 1949 and said to the police commissioner, director, chief, boss, whatever the fuck you have, and report and say, hey, sir, they're doing MK Ultra on me. You know, Howard Unruh would end up in exactly the same way at a psychiatric hospital as he did after killing 12 people, shooting, 15 people. Do you understand the implications of this stuff? Whether you kill or you don't kill, when they got him at the police and they delivered him to the psychiatrist, when he stated to psychiatrist that he was a subject to MK Ultra, a play of the society, the one only quickly have written a schizophrenic. He was not even capable to kill him. Usually what they do is they kill people like this. If you kill so many people, it doesn't make sense, because you're never going to come out of the jail anyway. You know, if you kill one, you may even have a chance to come out of the jail one day, some way, somehow. And you might not be such a great threat to society when you do. But if you kill 15, 12 people, chances that you will ever walk out as innocent do not really exist. Even if they would exist because of your temperament, this is like something like bear. If bear starts to come in your neighborhood and is eating out your trash bins, it's just a matter of time before he's going to assault one of you. And if he assaults one person, he gets used to it. And guess what's going to happen? he'll start to attack more people. That's why they kill crocodiles, bears, and so on. When they attack people, humans, they find them and they kill them, basically. Because the animal that get used to it will do it again, basically. That principle, they also consider people who do homicide and so on, in that sense. So, was this his fault? Was this a Howard Unruh's fault for what happened in 1949? Absolutely not. I don't think that you should be a World War II veteran, that you sacrifice, you put your life online for your country and you go out there. World War II veterans were the most honorable, probably, of them all veterans. At least admitted in the history as the most honorable veterans in the history of the veteran. Or true, I think that every veteran is priceless. This is what I think. I put my hat down to all veterans anyways. But absolutely not for the society that was playing a dirty tricks on him. Apparently he had a date and they claimed that he was late. I doubt that he was late. A question is, what was the date? And the job search and that kind of stuff. They don't talk about any of that stuff. They portray him like he absolutely is insane. And post-traumatic stress disorder that veterans endure, and these are people that when you go online, life, you understand life. This isn't about some fucklet political garbage. You must, or your boss at the work, you must perform this and that to do this and this for me. Our company must reach this and this goals by the end of the month, year, whatever, for you to get the bonus or whatever, or for us to exist, this is about life, that if you will disrespect during the time of the war, will leave you possibly without leg, without arm, maybe likely even dead. This is no fucking joke. It takes the most serious. It's not about your job, wherever the hell you go, but is requiring from you, demanding from you to take life as serious as you can get. And if you come back into environment and you have probably children fucking with you, and you have ladies playing dirty tricks on you that were at home sleeping when you were fucking killing yourself in the ditches of Normandy or across the Italy fighting German, Italian, fascist, Nazi troops and so on, through the France, like he did, etc., etc. You come home and they start to fuck with your job. People that did not even see the war, they go and they laugh in your face and stuff like this. It can actually happen like this, that you will do something really stupid. And with as much as firearms he had at hand, I think it was about campaign of disarming the World War II veterans that police ran at that point. And he had many of these arms. And that's what they wanted. It was about the politics. Politics play really dirty tricks on one. So I think it was a subject of MK Ultra used for disarmament of the World War II veterans. You don't have to have even a post-traumatic disorder or anything like this to flip and go bam, boom, bang, bang, bang. I never owned a gun in my lifetime. I never did. I was in the military. I have seen it all, but I never owned one. Don't get the wrong idea about me. I still, however, see myself in this man as enormously disrespected, abused, and finally even ended up in wasting his life in a psychiatric hospital, for which nobody had more regrets than his relatives, whom I have also met during MK Ultra. Disgusting. Truly, truly, truly disgusting. But what do you really do with a man like this? What do you do with a man like this when, you don't have any kind of guarantees that when he's going to come out of the asylum, he's not going to go and hurt somebody again? It's very difficult. That's very, very difficult. Even if you want to help one, and they were definitely not interested in helping him back then. It really doesn't matter. It's not about how well behaved, but about issues I discussed about. So, when you consider, again, hell, where the hell I was, when you consider this type of circumstances to guide the society, this type of politics. This is the video I also explained yesterday, the difference between the Soviet Union and between the Western indoctrination related to liquidation. Liquidation was the expression used at large in Eastern Europe for killing the people, basically. Sending the people to gulags, if you want, or Bear Islands, or inside of the psychiatric hospitals, military hospitals where they would do research on them, experimented on them as pleased, etc., etc., etc. When you power the society like this, when you run the society like this, under these terms like this, there is nothing holy about one, is it? There is nothing priceless. There is no values. There is nothing that guarantees anybody, I'm going to say, absolutely anything, because anything can be done with absolutely anybody. When this lady here, I did go too far with this stuff, because this is so much stuff. You could just go and talk about this shit, and I did make a mistake going so far with it. This lady here, when she started to pose with this stuff to me in the face, with this here that I had no connection to, but on the other hand, Donald Trump did get from me vendetta on Zelensky by Donald Trump was not reminding me of Zelensky. No fucking way anybody would remind me of what took place long time ago in the United States in 2001, 2002, when I was delivered to the United States, the White House, escorted to the White House with Zelensky, who was there first time in 2001. He came first time, appeared to me in 2001, 2002. To the United States, to the White House. When you started to force down my throat, the way she forced down my throat, this stuff, she continued. She said to me, and this is what they were doing all along to me. They were doing this stuff all along to me. This is so difficult to. The Serbs first time scored a big success when I rejected the Chrysler company, because I love American car manufacturers. I love them. When I was a baby child, and they absolutely, entire General Motors positioned themselves behind me, and they favored me. No matter what, regardless of the Serbs and the Russians instigating all kinds of stuff against me, whatever. They just disregarded it. And did not know what the fuck to do with it. And so they figure out that by getting a corrupt criminal, I think the first one, the corrupt one, was a Chevrolet, and I'm not sure. Oldsmobile was very bad. It might be even some car manufacturers in the US that already closed down before I even came to the United States in 95. This, I'm talking about the times when I was a child, when I was 6, 7 years of age. And they realized that by hiring a rotten CEO from the certain company, regardless of how much I liked that company, and I promoted one during MK Ultra as a child, regardless of it, the Serbs realized that if that CEO of that company did something bad to me, I would just cross the company forever out, regardless of how that company would try to get back to me. And they learn also from the Chrysler example when they did that to me, that they have ability, the right to actually indoctrinate me to dislike something. And they did so by, let's say it's a beautiful woman or a beautiful car, like a Chrysler was. And the Serbs, what the Serbs would do is, they claim that this is a car you don't like, that this is a car that you don't like, that this is the car that you don't like, and you claim that this is a car you like. And this shit went on a long term until the CEO popped up and did something bad to me and suggesting this is the car you don't like. In that moment, the picture became so ugly that I didn't want to see that car no more, or that woman, or wherever the fuck it was. Whatever the Russians and Serbs touched during MK Ultra, I surely enough didn't want to see no more. Whether that be a woman or car or wherever the fuck would that be, it became to me instantly disgusting. This was the relationship between me and Russians, those whom I would not even refer to as a human beings. That's why I don't discuss them on my blog, because this is like a fish, like a fucking air. It's a nobody, it's nothing. It's just the evil out there. And that's all there is to it. And it makes no sense to discuss. I discuss issues that where still positive changes can be made. And in this video, I'm discussing this stuff already for too long. And that's negative for me, anyhow. Too much philosophy, really philosophy that awards garbage from the trash bins in London, and that's no good. This is what the Prince Andrew loved. He loved to talk, he loved to negotiate, and he loved to fuck people. This is what they do. They kill people, they get people killed, they get nations deleted through the stuff I just suggested. Very bad for me that I spent so much time talking about this issue. So it absolutely did not make any sense for me to reject assistance to Ukraine, but because of, you know, what she did is, she just continued. I told her, this doesn't pertain to me. In absolutely any way, the man you see right there does not pertain to me. This is dementia, the violence, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and Zelensky, and all these clowns. Really ugly clowns. This Zelensky is a clown. J.D. Vance said, no, you're all fucking clowns. You're really ugly motherfuckers. You're sickos. You're sick people. You're psychopaths. You're maniacs. And you're serial killers. You're not a government officials. You're not a government officials. Because you're acting against law, against the Constitution. You're violating. You're hurting your own citizens. And you're killing your own, what should be otherwise your allies. You're not productive in any way. You are clowns. You're dangerous. You are a threat. The biggest, the gravest threat to society. Scum is what you are. And you are, as I stated again, you are psychiatrists forging the reality through the violence. That's what this video is about. So she continued to push down my throat something I had nothing to do with it. So do you know how that looked like? Yeah, but I stated to her, no, but this I don't have nothing to do with it. I never said that Ukraine should be that Ukraine she did not even allow me to finish that Ukraine should not get the money, that Ukraine should not be supported. She did not allow me to say this, that I never said that, or that I supported such decision. She just continued. She just cut me right there at the beginning, and she just started to the Serbian, Russo-Serbian song, without allowing me she demonstrated me this picture here and started to cry me how I am going to regret. And Joe Biden, who tried to help Ukraine, she said, yes, but, you know, do you understand the degree of the violence? Do you understand the degree of the violence? You don't allow the men to talk. You don't allow the men to say. And you take his words, you deprive him of the right to say, to communicate, and you start to indoctrinate one in front of the cameras, whatever, as I cite, yes, but you are not going to like Biden, yes, but you are not going to like Zelensky, even the Zelensky did favor to you here, and Zelensky did favor to you there, and Ukraine is this, and Ukraine is that. Hello? The Facebook posted this stuff to me to piss me off. Okay? The Facebook posted to me this video for me to see this every fucking time. The same thing happened the day earlier. For me to see this, like, you know, ha 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 ha, ha ha ha. This is what was the atmosphere on the March 1st. Zelensky, well, no, Zelensky this, Zelensky that, ha ha ha, Ukraine, no more money for Ukraine, ha ha ha, yeah, ha ha ha. This is what they started to bombard me through the Facebook, according to MK Ultra. But in the background of it all, they had prepared this stuff to basically deprive me of who the fuck I am and who the fuck I am in a real time. Yes, because during MK Ultra they made the reservation to pose in front of me with demonstrated me stuff that you see right there, while at the same time suggesting me that Zelensky is good, but you will not like one. So this is basically presenting me with a total scorn for Zelensky in a real time. And during MK Ultra, they corrupted brain through exactly what I'm not going to testified about. This is not described. Testified about how through like a reverse psychology. This is not reverse psychology. This is about using a smartphone cameras in your face and lying to the people, basically forging about who did what and who saw what, through how, and so on and so forth. Nobody was more obsessed about forging me and my history in respect to Ukraine other than Prince Charles from London, who went on in 2017, 2016 to deliver me to the police station in London, whatever, to even take fingerprints from me. I had a police officers repeatedly looking in my face and suggested me that once I gave up from the Ukraine, nobody will be behind you anymore. You're nobody. We don't even consider you and so on as a human being and so on. Fingerprinting me and so on and that kind of stuff. You have to do this because you're not going to be always poor and so on and this and that. Scotland Yard, wherever the fuck that was. Scotland Yard was a million times they delivered me. All the time was Scotland Yard, but there was also some other police station. Most of the time, 50-50 probably was a police and 50 was a Scotland Yard. So, this is the video about whether you do want United States of America in your country and to exactly what degree, or in your life. Do you want the scum? Do you want the garbage in your country or in your life? And to what degree exactly? Because I do not allow forgeries, and I punish just like in this video. Hopefully, whatever the fuck you are, that you are noticing this stuff, how they forge, how they lie, how they steal, how they rip, how they demand for the robbery to thank them, for killing you, for destroying your even internal body organs, They demand from you to say thank you for their cures, for medications and so on, future, while denying you the access to physicians and so on, after causing you harm and so on. This is precisely identical issue. Everything is ran by the same thing. These are the things that doesn't matter where you are in the world, you should know about the United States of America. And you should know about the British, and you should know about the Germans, about the French, Spanish, Italians, Scandinavians, Dutch, because they all supported this type of... You all betrayed. You all supported this. You all lied. You all forged. You're all forgery. You did. Provenly you did. If nowhere else in this video, provenly you forged, you supported scam, lies, robberies, truly steal and kill concept. It didn't stop with this lady. The day earlier the same shit happened, but I wasn't smart enough to video record. This kind of stuff the day earlier was more brutal, when they were making, supposedly they were making fun out of Zelensky, through which they demanded for me to even blog them and see myself in Zelensky and see myself in Ukraine, as if something had to do with Ukraine, for fuck's sake. As if anything had to do with the Ukraine. I mean, seriously. Forgery, forgery, forgery. Yeah, and there was stuff that I missed that was worse than this stuff here from well, there you go. The picture did go, but no. There was stuff that I missed. They always put atop the comments for 2 days. And even here in this case, I started to video record too late this stuff. That insisted on ridiculing Ukraine, why we should be happy that Ukraine did not get money, why, Zelensky is funny, look at that, the Joe Biden, his son, just look at that, he did not get the money, he did not get across. So I'm back here. I did reload the page, and again, conservative Americans, this is all in one video, always at the top page. When you realize how badly you fucked up, and now tens of thousands of your countrymen will die because of it. Did Zelensky fucked up? No, until this moment he did not fucked up. They were building him building him castles in the sky until this moment. But in this moment he did fucked up. When you start to build the castles in the sky like this, by killing people who gave your country, your people a statehood, and this is I, myself, not your Ukrainian people, but I, myself, through whom your Ukrainian people have seen themselves in, to go and claim the independence from the Russian state, from the Soviet Union. And you think you're going to take over and I'm going to be a dust and you're going to forge everything and you're going to push down my throat and tell Zelensky and his team, we are the one who convinced him to do this stuff through the stuff like this, through the Facebook and pertain to MK Ultra. You see how beneficial we are, your allies. We assist you everywhere you want, and we install our people and we fuck the whole world, change the reality, reforge everything, the history, fuck you. Yeah, this is the video I want. Do you want them in your country? Can you actually afford them in your country? And so, to what degree can you afford them in your country? That's the question in this video. Sickening that she started to push down my throat the stuff that had nothing to do with reality, cut me right there in front of me, by demonstrating me the stuff that you see right there, while talking to me at the same time for the sake of Zelensky and Ukraine, basically pulling the words out of my mouth and putting them back in my mouth and so on. Modified, because like I said, not Biden, not Zelensky, not Donald Trump, not also Donald Trump, no, none of these people are other than clowns. Ugly fucking psychiatric clowns. Violence. Violentes. So you want to do it like this? You want to go and you do the forgery? Let's do it. You want to do the forgery with me? Let's do it. This is a ugly, ugly, ugly. The psychiatry pertaining to artificial intelligence is savage. I did not click on this artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence videos were available during MK Ultra, and they put me in front of the laptop and they played that garbage in my face. That was not it. That's sick stuff. And now they are fascinating. Now they're fascinating people with it, and people feel good about it. It's like, wow. No, I actually don't feel that the real people feel good about this. I think the real people go about their business, just like I did in the U.S. I did not even want to know about the politics anymore in the U.S. And then on the bottom, Zelensky gets a warm welcome in the UK after clashing with a Trump. So I go and I reload the page again. Here, interesting is that I was told by the Facebook CEOs, Zuckerberg and so on, that you will see at the end of it they started to indoctrinate me how they are going to brainwash American people on hating Ukraine and taking the side of Putin and so on. Donald Trump had a whole vision on how he is going to evaluate his parliament, his Congress, and see based on the scores that it was scored in the public, the support, if it's even worthy still to support Ukraine, and based on that he'll make evaluation and decide about the further assistance to Ukraine or complete withdrawal of the US troops from Ukraine. This is, under MK Ultra, when they fill you with a shit like this in your head, a whole lot of issues. So I went and I did, again reloaded the page. Then I get this stuff here. Imagine being so brainwashed that instead of being happy about the elimination of truly wasteful spending, you attack the person who uncovers it. Yeah, it's about the brainwash. Strange that they know about what brainwash is, because if you go to the police station and you report the brainwash, they fucking throw you into the psychiatric hospital, don't they? They say that you are schizophrenic. No? They say that MK Ultra existed long time ago. Well, so fucking long, before I was even born. And I was born in 1971. And so I get, this is Heinz Bartesh. I get more of this stuff. I need more money. Get the fuck out. Excellent. Now, if only they do the same with the Bibi Netanyahu. So, this is what they brainwash with for me to see this in a completely reversed way. And why would they do this stuff? In my case, because they anticipated the possibility of something else would come out. And so this stuff directly pertains to this issue here. It directly pertains to this issue here. Which is titled Zelensky issue dressed himself in a business attire, was involved in MK Ultra. And this picture here that you see right there, that's basically Zelensky posing next to Ukrainian flag with a Ukrainian map right behind. This is what Zelensky started to do, pose with the map that you see right there in 2001 to me, with a picture. Not exactly dressed up like that, but with this picture he started to play to fuck with in 2001. What do you say about this? These are the beginnings of this picture that you see right there. What do you think about this? What do you have to say about this now? In your defense for yourself, what do you have to say? So this kind of stuff, this how you create the martyrs, how do you create the Semper Fi warriors and icons and all this stuff out of the dumpster people, does not pertain. I don't like, and in destroying the real people like myself, this does not this just simply does not appeal to me. This is not good. This stuff here, this stuff here, the main difference between the Western and the Soviet liquidation indoctrination, where the Soviet Union failed and the West excelled. This nice little video that I did here, where I remind of this magic little island, where I remind of this Howard Unruh issue, when I remind of this magic little beautiful island where 1 million corpses are buried. Like you would go to the park, you would do a walk in the park with a dog, and as you go inside of the park with your dog pulls the bone out, and boy, you see the bone, and you said to yourself, well, you say, what the fuck is this? And you said to yourself, wow, what the fuck is this? Right? I'm gonna tell you what the fuck is this. The main article about where 1 million people are buried, about the island where 1 million people are buried, was somebody deleted one from the blogger. That's what this shit is about. There was also a part which you can you were able to testify. There was not only about this stuff here, but it was about the bones, where there was 1 million people buried on this island. See, the more that you try to cover up this stuff, the more this stuff suffers. The hot island, over 1 million people buried. Imagine you go to the park. Why do you people modify my blog like this? Don't fucking do that. I should fucking go and modify my blog. This stuff was posted yesterday on my blog. What happened? See, now you're gonna have a double deal. Now you have a double one. You're reminded of it the next day. Now I undig you right there. Now, imagine you go in a park in a beautiful where everything grass is cut, where the trees are trimmed, and the dog pulls the bone out, and you say, well, hell, what is this? And you say, oh my, it's a human bone. I'm gonna go to the police department and report this. And then they tell you, sir, but don't you know? There is 1 million corpses on that island. That island is made out of the human corpses. And you say, oh my, is this true? Is this reality? What is this? What the fuck is this? And you run to the fucking airport and you take a plane and you're out of the country. This is real. This stuff is actually real. This is in United States of America, just so that you know, this Hart Island. Yeah, that song, is this the real life or is just fantasy? Oh yeah, it is. It's real. This is real. This is real as it gets. As real as it gets. This is United States of America. Setting the limits of their presence around the world. I don't even know how I would say the limits, how I wanted to. Based on a mutual, folks, I'm just going to say to you, any forgery is very, very bad. Trust me. Any forgery is very, very, very bad. And United States of America doesn't have to offer other than forgery, unfortunately. I am 53. I had started when I was a baby, less than 1 year old. And, it just doesn't look... Hey, don't fucking touch my stuff here when I post. It was posted here about the Hart Island yesterday. It was posted here not only about the Hart Island, but it was also posted here about about the British psychiatric system. Right underneath here, it was also about the British psychiatric hospital, where also numerous people were killed. Don't fuck with my stuff. Do not modify anymore my stuff. This is my blog. Do not modify information I enter on this blog. There's supposed to be stuff about a British psychiatric hospital where who knows how many people they murdered, and about also Hart Island and so on. This is not a fucking joke. This isn't about only, and it's a big thing. He was a World War II veteran, Howard Unruh, and his victims, by the way, because of the crazy police play. Do not forge my blog. Stop. No, I did not update something. I didn't have a page open that I would update and by coincidence delete the stuff that was not there and stuff like that. That's just did not happen. I didn't do that. I'm very cautious with that stuff, and I don't like that stuff to be done. No, it did not modify me in any way in respect to Ukraine, whether Ukraine should be defended or Ukraine should not be defended. This is primitive. This is a talk for Donald Trump. This is a talk for the people that, it's just a little bit that's missing, and they're going to come out and they're going to say they invented the whole world out of nothing. This is about playing God without really having in your pocket enough for a Burger King. This is what this is all about. This is about Elon Musk laughing in my face, gesturing me. I've decided I'm going to do the opposite way of you and first get the money and they then play a news, a media guy. Ha 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 ha. This is disgusting. And this is about American presence in this world. This is about whether Ukraine should be assisted. I don't even understand how people... I don't understand how people allow this trash to be, this mental illness to be on display again. Nation is a nation. It doesn't matter how small this nation, whatever nation, but you're talking about the nation. You're talking about the group of people with specific characteristics, language, whatever. There is such thing like classification for you to be even recognized as a nation, as an independent nation. What ingredients do you need to file to be recognized by the UN as a nation? And so it's apart from this Liberland and Monaco and this kind of issues that are eventually even recognized as a nations, micronations. The nation's ingredients must contain certain specifications to be recognized by the UN fully as a nation, as a even if you want to say different enough or with a certain, I'm not going to get into. And so taking part of the territory from the certain nation is by reducing its, I'm not going to say importance, but its sovereignty, and in the case of the Russia as a neighbor, definitely existence, And so I don't know if it will benefit anybody in Europe, reduction of Ukrainian sovereignty in absolutely any way. Yeah, I mean, all you gotta do really is like I did, and I did pledge I'm not gonna support Ukraine no more, and I'm not getting into this stuff no more. I'm doing this to demonstrate what this is all about. Ukrainians are extremely disappointing to me. This is a psychiatric president that they line themselves behind, and this kind of psychiatry is not beneficial for anybody. Nobody needs Ukraine like this, to put it plain and simple. We have enough problems in Europe with Ukraine serving as special interests. In my case, Ukraine is special interests, completely separated themselves from the rest of Ukraine. Talking about the people like Poroshenko, Zelensky, millionaires, billionaires. Poroshenko worth, let's see how much this guy, it says here 720 million. This guy already was worth billions. He's a liar. It says here 900 and something, 80 million. Ukraine is wealthy has lost 20 billion. This is about the president for whom Ukrainian people demanded from me to see myself in, and they spit in my face lies such as the president of all rich, poor, wealthy, poor and wealthy Ukrainian people, people of all people, the people's president, Zelensky. Let me explain something to you. This is a man who aligned himself to Ukrainian elite, and we all know who this elite is. I do not believe this is not a Russian guy, Zelensky, to make myself clear. I do not approve this guy under any circumstances. This guy, based on my criteria, based on my analysis, is rather even a threat, the most severe threat to Ukrainian existence. I think this is a Poroshenko number 2, and Poroshenko even awarded financially Donetsk Russians, paying them for the coal, whatever, upon the theft of the Donetsk and stuff like that. No fucking way that I go for any of the stuff that CIA injected and whatever the CIA is going to play in this case. Nothing here is definite. I suggested there's a strong possibility that Ukraine will even end up completely broken with a lot of land stolen and Zelensky with a tie around his neck, with a nice little silver suit. There is no really, this is like you go to the junker and some junk boy comes to you and you give him a credit that you know he's not going to be capable to pay. Actually, he doesn't have anything you could consider as credible, anything that would be tangible, anything that you would say, yeah, okay, whatever. So, yeah, I don't give a three fuck about this stuff here that you see. This, I don't care about any of this stuff. I care about other issues. I don't care about any of that stuff. Nobody knows. Based on the stuff that I reported on a blog, nothing really is determined about who this man is right there. This is a dirty game, a dirty play. It could be like this, it could be like that. Nobody really knows which way, how, and you know, the wealthiest part of Ukraine is Crimea. The second most wealthiest part of Ukraine is Donetsk. If you take Donetsk and Crimea away from Ukraine, you have reduced one immensely. Let's never forget what I stated right there. And so, what kind of peacemaker you're going to play based on the deal that the Russians and Americans brokered so far? Any kind. Because it's now more than Donetsk, it's more than Crimea, it's additional land, Ukrainian land, that is occupied. So to trade blows in sense of liberation, it's going to be difficult. And it appears to me that they're going to trade them through the Zelensky's tie, through the Zelensky's silver suit, to complete this real estate deal I was talking about throughout my blog. I don't believe this is going to end any other way. No, I don't give any guarantees for Zelensky. So, for me to finish this stuff, disgusting that Ukraine have allowed a special interests of Ukraine to align themselves, in my case, concerning me, to align themselves with mentally ill King Charles and mental illness from United States of America that you witnessed to, and other garbage. It's regrettable, because it's a country that wants freedom. Why the fuck do you want? Why did you decide to pursue the Western values? So that you can do the filthy stuff like this? You can run the psychiatric state? But you had that inside of the Soviet Union. You had your psychiatric state inside of the Union. Why? What difference are you going to make? I mean, if you're going to do it for Americans, it's going to be the same shit. Then I don't see no point in it. This is a big dilemma for Americans. Stuff I'm talking about. In respect to my case, yes, Zelensky absolutely is a president of wealthy, richest mental illness. Of whatever wealthy, rich elites has in their mind for me. That's what this is. This is extension. This is a Ukrainian extension, which was demanded from Ukrainians for me to see as a president of all kinds of people, etc., etc. We help you. He will help you, and so on. Who the fuck you gonna help me? This stuff happened because of you. All this shit happened because of you. And at the end, you do a knifing like this from behind, which in my eyes put you in the same category with the Russians. I don't know what your independence is still about, or if you will ever even realize why you went to become independent. Is it a paranoia, a fuck up that British and Americans have managed to instill in you? To see the British and Americans as an enemy through the big eyes of paranoia? And when I say the paranoia is real, because they did arm Russia for the war on you. Or is it for some other issues that you took the independence road? For the issues I was talking about on the blog. Those are the two things that you people of Ukraine still did not determine, it still did not come to you, and you're the president of the special elites, Zelensky, Poroshenko, whom you have, by the way, already charged with a crime. You charged him with a crime, but still not going at trial. Still didn't pay for the crime. He did. That's crazy. That's crazy. But it appears to me they do a lot of psychiatry on you. They do a lot of brain surgeries on you in Ukraine. Because you start something you don't even finish. So that means that you collectively as a people lie also. That was the issue that was involved in MK Ultra that was presented to me as, yeah, we also will charge Poroshenko and this and that, and it will all depend on you and so on. It will all depend on me. What the fuck? Why would this stuff depend on me? This depends on whether you want to do the stuff or you don't want to do the stuff, and what kind of stuff you want to do. And this is based on this stuff is what is determined afterwards how much you are ripe as a nation to actually run your own internal affairs. And this is your biggest problem. This is the biggest fucking enemy you're facing. That's all I gotta say for this video. Maybe you're gonna learn something from my talk. Every time you expose either corruption or you expose the enemy within, you're just one step closer to exposing another enemy, more of the corruption. Because it's not about your ego, it's about your conscience that grows. And through that conscience, a strength, a power, and national sovereignty grows. Thanks for watching this video. Don't get sick. Don't get carried away through the mental illness that is doing its best. What do they say here? This is the Oval Office. Yes, you saw that one. You can see that one. Yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah, we did go through that stuff. Now, Al Green, his name is Republican Al Green, yeah. Al Green is going to win in the end. That means that Donald Trump is going to go. This guy wanted to be seen in my eyes as a big man. Al Green. Not artificial intelligence, but Al Green, as I was told. Yes, they did talk to me about not artificial intelligence, but Al Green. Mr. Al Green. All right. All right, if this is what we're going to have, huh? We're going to have like this, huh? And then we're going to have a politic. And we're going to seen by the world. We're going to be seen as real. And we're going to lie. We're going to do the perception. And everything is going to be fine and fine and fine and fine. Because the life is psychiatry. You catch, you grab, you jucked up, you dump in front of the computer. You disallow one to get job. You fuck from here, you do that, you do this, you hurt, you damage. You lie, and now welcome to the new brave world, all new brave world. Thanks for watching the reality. Yes, thanks for watching the reality. And the most hated words are, till the next time. I don't think that you like it, people. Many of you. It's a back kick your ass. It goes around the world. You can watch this program, educate yourself, and make decision to what degree, if at all, the United States of America, its presence should be allowed in your country. What exactly, how much better are you off with American presence when compared to the Russians, especially because they worked so much together with one another. Let me see if I can find some other sick here. Because this is not bad at all. Oh, the same shit it was on a YouTube. It was also on a YouTube they bombarded with the videos that pertained to. They bombarded me the videos that humiliated Zelensky and stuff. That didn't even want to see. I was ready to vomit seeing this fucking garbage. I click on one video It's 100 videos. The so-called Google algorithm all of a sudden covered everything about the meeting, Oval Office meeting between the Zelensky and Trump. Yeah. All you gotta do is all I have to do is really reload the page and I get sick shit in the face. Yeah, this is where Prince Charles gets on a picture, the Europeans scramble, etc., etc., etc. No, this is already the stuff I did discuss about here. This is what the British King Charles takes over. This is it. Rule Britannia. Yeah, all British. Everything is British. That's it. That's how you get the shit rating from me. That's how you end in the pile of the shit. That's exactly how. Greed. Greedy bastards. Greedy bastards. Greedy bastards. Oval Office London. Greedy bastards. You fucking choke yourself on your fucking mental illness. You wanted a mental illness. You want hell. Eat it. Eat your fucking mental illness. That's when you choke on it. Zelensky ungrateful and impatient display, etc. So they were insisting me. We will be bombarding your Facebook page with stuff like this, and you will see yourself in it, but in reality you will be the one losing it, etc., etc. La, 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 la. Boy. No, it's really bad stuff, because these people, you know why? These people, I'm gonna stop here with this stuff. These people don't even envision themselves anymore without hijacking, trafficking people, subjecting people into psychiatric drugs, drugging them up, and beating them up, terrorizing them, trauma torturing them, etc. They don't even. This became a new reality. It's very bad. Very bad times are coming. Extremely bad. I don't know if ever was as bad as this. And it's going to get even worse. Not only because they're going to fire millions of people in the U.S., across the U.S. It's going to be a tremendous firing. Already is, as we talk. Because this is why we have this show about Zelensky. But think about, they're losing a grip on a power, or a global power. It seems like Donald Trump is hanging, doesn't really. Just look at that. The Chinese completely disregarded him, and so did in South America and so on. And he's losing a grip on power. U.S. is not the Donald Trump, but U.S. is losing grip on power. It's just another country. It's becoming seen just as another country. It's not anymore And with the stuff I talk about in this video, I don't know. It doesn't look like. It does not look like. It does not look promising. Do you know what it is? Once you start to go down, it gets so fucking steep. It's like a fighter jet when it goes down. Pew, is losing at gravity, is descending down before turning into a flames with such a speed. This is the way it was with the Soviet Union. I did it. I wasn't there. I did it. I did it. You don't know the effect of negativity, of the human perception when the door starts to shut in your face throughout the world. When you start to lose the deals and the world start to connect yourself, and you do have to technologically to catch up with it. You don't know. It's very, very bad. Technology is something that you can replicate technology, but the edge technology, you can have as much as you please, and gold and reserves and petroleum, oil, minerals, whatever you want, but that will not pay for the technological advancement. And all your gold and reserves and everything you have is completely it becomes over time irrelevant. You have no fucking idea what technology can do to you. What we are in the age of information. We are in the age of information. They have ability to share video like this with the people from around the world. In this age of information, that America prides itself with the ability to block a complaint like mine at the U.S. Justice Department of State, at the United Nations, at the International Criminal Court, at the European Union Commission, European Union Court, etc., etc. Yeah, but still we are in information age, and this is the way it works.